Hi, welcome to Copy Class. My name is Allison Lex with askacopyexpert.com and AllisonLex.com. And for this class, I'd like to talk to you about events, both online and both offline, real life, and virtual events, right? So if you're putting on seminars, conferences, masterminds, things like that in person, or if you're doing webinars, webinar panels, online virtual summits, that sort of thing online. This kind of applies to both segments because some of the objections overlap, right? So some of the objections for in-person events are going to not necessarily apply to virtual events, but some of the virtual event objections are not going to apply to in-person. So I'm going to do my best to make this as cohesive as possible, right? But there are really three main categories of objections. The first is time, the second is money, and the third is ability, right? Ability is going to be your big one, but time is a big one too. Money tends to not be the biggest objection for events, which is why free events are actually more difficult to fill sometimes than paid events. And that even brings up its own category. I'm going to write it down, so should you. And that's value, okay? Value is kind of a common objection throughout anything you're going to sell or give, and so we'll talk about that one specifically in just a minute. But first, time, right? Have you ever thought about going to a conference and then decided not to because you don't want to take that time away from your business or your family? So have your customers, right? The time that you spend in an event is time that is out of your daily normal life. And while that may be a really awesome break for some people, specifically moms of 1-year-olds who are teething and wake up in the middle of the night, and a husband who snores, right? They're still exhausting. There's still travel involved. There's still networking. I actually wrote out kind of some objections on my computer screen here. I'm going to read off to you real quick. I don't want to leave my kid. Flying sucks. My business life, family needs me more. I'll miss the baby shower, wedding, retirement party, whatever. I'm an introvert. Nobody likes networking, right? These are the excuses that are running through your clients' heads, your customers' heads, while you're trying to get them to come to your event. And so your job is to show them that it's not going to be an exhausting, never-ending networking battle. There's going to be fun parties, right? So you see that instead of saying, oh, we're going to pack you into a hallway and feed you some food, it's we're going to have a party. So the language that the really successful marketers of events have used is, it says the same thing, but it says it in a way that doesn't make it sound like it's going to suck. That's your job, is to make it sound like it's not going to suck, because not everybody loves networking. I went to an event recently and I had no mojo for networking and I sucked at it. And it kind of sucked for me. People who really had the mojo for networking probably had a lot more fun than I did. But the next event I go to, there's that little bit of, oh, I'm gonna have to network. I sucked at it last time feeling, and that's what your customers are experiencing when they're reading your sales copy. So if you can just acknowledge it and then overcome that objection, it's something that you have to know about, okay? So time. Also, show them how this is not necessarily, especially if it's business to business, not necessarily time spent away from their business, but time spent looking at an aspect of their business that is sorely missing, right? So a marketing event, it's not time spent away from your business. You're actually going to work on your business more than ever before, right? If it's a conference for a life coach, right? So you're a life coach and you help women make the transition from one career to another. I'm making something up on the fly. But it's not time spent away from your current career or your family. It's where you get to come together, get the support that you're going to need so that you can go back to your family rejuvenated and ready to take on the world. You see how I'm changing the narrative that they're having about the time that they're going to be spending at the event rather than in their own lives. All right, money. Money's a big one, especially for in-person events. Virtual events too, right? Do I really have the money to invest in this? With in-person events, you have the training, the hotel, the airfare, the food, the travel, the whatever, this, the gift for the kid, all that stuff, right? Whereas with virtual events, it's just the cost of the training, but that's still a hurdle that you have to overcome. So with virtual events, you may find that the last two apply more to you, but really time and money, they're the big ones. And so with an in-person event, you have to show them that they're going to either make more money than they paid to get there, right? And so you'll see that a lot with X number of sessions that could each add Y number of dollars to your bank account if you implement those strategies. If you're not B2B, then you have to kind of show them that trying to get that same experience in their hometown could cost them more. So in this instance, you're going to compare apples to oranges a little bit. You're going to say, okay, yeah, you could invest in X number of hours of coaching with me one-on-one, and I'm happy to do that for you so you can stay home. However, it's going to cost you 4 or 5 times as much as it would for you just to attend this event. And if you're a B2B where you're helping them grow their business, you could say, you know, you could buy this course and that course, and you still probably wouldn't be able to add this much to your bottom line. What's it worth to you? Okay, so that's money. Next is ability. Okay, and this is this kind of ties in with some of the objections I already talked about like flying sucks, right? I don't want to have to go all the way to California. I'm in Baltimore. It's a long flight, right? It's a 6-hour flight for me to go to California. But if the event's good enough, I'll go to California. You know what I mean? And so the ability to get there with your virtual events, like I said, this is a little more applicable to you. I don't have the attention span for a 3-hour seminar, or oh, my kids will never leave me alone at 8 o'clock at night, or any of the 85,000 excuses that people come up with to not do something, right? They're stuck where they are, status quo. And so you have to think about, what are they going to do? What are they going to say to themselves as a good excuse not to do this? The ability to do it, the ability to get on a plane, the ability to cross a border, the ability to get a hotel room, find a roommate, go by yourself, right? All the in-person stuff, or get that alone time, have uninterrupted, close the work email, right? The ability to show up, that is a big objection. And the last one is the value. And this is something that you're going to see in just about everything you sell, is have you presented the value enough so that they think that it's worth their money. And this is where you really need to be clear about your offer. You need to show them step by step the benefits that they're going to get. I think we'll probably, if we don't already, we'll have a copy class on creating bullets and how those are important. So find that one. That'll show you really how to outline the benefits for your prospect or your customer, and really just show them everything that they're going to get for the investment that they're making, the time investment, the financial investment, and the effort that they're going to make. All of that, really, your value needs to be bigger than that, right? So if I'm going to fly to California and pay X number of thousands of dollars and be away from my kid for a week, that's a lot. And I say my kid, I also mean my husband, right? But you get it, right? Away from something very important to me for a whole week, I need to get something big out of that, because that's a hassle and expense, and I'm going to miss my family. So critically look at your copy and make sure that you're addressing these objections. Hiding behind them or hiding from them, sticking your head in the sand, that's not going to do anything. You're not going to plant any thoughts in your prospects' heads that they haven't had already. So don't be afraid to bring these things up. Like, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking you don't want to fly all the way to California. It's okay to say that, because they're already thinking it. So you're not going to like plant ideas in their heads. Okay? So the 4 big objections to attending in person or online events. Time. I don't have time to stay away from my business and my family. Money. I can't afford it. It's a lot of money. Travel, hotel, food, all that stuff costs a lot. ability, I can't get the peace and quiet, or I can't get on a plane. And value, it's just not worth it to me. Right? Those are the 4 big objections, and this has been and that's Jack. This has been Copy Class. I'm Allison Lex with AskACopyExpert.com and AllisonLex.com, and we'll see you next week. Thanks.